everyone, this is Erin from Sandpaper Road in the USA, and today I'm here with a craft.o.clock creative team project. I made 2 tags using the Wedding Dream paper collection by craft.o.clock, and I just absolutely love these 2 little tags. Now I started with the top of a tissue box, and I just used that as the base of a tag. I'm also going to use the Wedding Dream junk journal set, which I've already cut out with scissors. Now, in addition to that, I'm going to be using some of the flowers. This is flowers 26 and leaves 14. Later on, I'll use some other supplies as well, but I'll mention those as they come across the video. This is a piece from the junk journal set. I was going to open up a paper collection, but I thought that the junk journal set had plenty of beautiful papers to choose from, and they were sized perfectly for this little tag project. So I'm just using a pencil to trace around the outside of the tag. And I'm finding the spot of the paper that I think will look the best, trying to get a little variety for each tag. I just cut them out with my scissors. These are the Tonic scissors. And you really can't get much easier than this. If you are new to paper crafting, this is a great place to start. Now I'm using a little bit of sandpaper just to rough up the outside. This will help the glue to stick a lot better. For the glue, I'm using the Nuvo Deluxe Adhesive, also by Tonic. I'm using an acrylic block as a paperweight over top of the tag to help it dry flat. I used my scissors and a little bit of sandpaper just to drag around the outside edges. And now I'm going to use some chipboard from craft.o.clock. This is a beautiful lace chipboard. It's very thin and it can be easily cut with a paper trimmer or scissors. I thought it would make the perfect accent for my tags. This looks really good so far. When I'm thinking about these tags, I'm thinking about putting them in a scrapbook layout or in a mini album or cards or even to top off a gift. I'm also cutting the middle of the circle so that there's some weight to the back of the tag. That will help when I'm gluing down the tag later on. This tag with the buggy on it that I am working with right now, that actually came from the Junk Journal set as well. There's lots of interesting little tags and embellishments, little mini envelopes and pockets, tabs, all kinds of fun things to fussy cut and use in your projects. So this little tab says love, and I'm just gluing it to the edge of that pre-made tag. Just a little bit of this glue goes a really long way. It holds really strong and it dries very quickly. Now I wanted to add a little bit of dimension to the back of that pre-made tag. So I have chipboard die cuts from another collection from craft.o.clock, and I've used all the die cuts already, but I always save the outside chipboard pieces, and they make great ways to raise up parts of your project and give it some dimension. I like that instead of using foam sometimes. Now here I have a stylus. It's a metal stylus, and I'm just pressing some of these flowers into a piece of thick foam just to give them a little shape. And then I'll use my glue gun to put a few of the flowers together right on top of each other. And it makes them look more realistic and makes them pop off the page. This is the fun part. This is just a matter of playing with the different combinations of flowers and leaves until you find the thing you like the best. Usually I lay out a little design first, and then I put it to the side and then see if I like it still after a few minutes. And if I still like it, then I glue it down. That looks really good. I like it a lot. Now I've already started gluing down a lot of it. Also, it's helpful to use a different combination of dimension when you're making a project like this. So here you'll see I'm gluing some things flat to the tag, and other things I'm going to use my hot glue gun to add a little bit of dimension, or some of the cardboard or chipboard also to give dimension as well. Now I'm going to use some Distress Oxide ink. This is Frayed Burlap, and I'm just giving it just a little touch around the outside edges. It just gives it a little bit more of a finished look. I really like to use hot glue on my projects if they don't involve photos. It's really just nice and quick and easy, and I really like the dimension that it gives. I love these colors of this Wedding Dream paper collection. Now, as you can see, this project really is not a difficult project. This I would consider to be a beginner's project. The hardest part of the project, I think, was cutting out all of the flowers and leaves ahead of time. But after that, it's really just a matter of gluing things down in whatever order you want. You could use any paper collection you wanted. You could see I just used the tissue box top and just some simple glue and some flowers. Super easy. And can you imagine how lovely this will look on a scrapbook layout or inside a mini album or something? Just absolutely spectacular. And the project's almost done. I have some quotes left over from another project. These are some wedding quotes, wedding and anniversary. It took me a long time to decide which quote I wanted. So I'm just using my glue gun again. And this way I can give it just a little bit of an arch in the middle. So I'll put my scissors down and use that as a guide. It looks really good. Many wonderful years, says the quote. Very nice. Now on this lantern, I had added some glossy accents beforehand. Like when I was cutting it out, I thought it would look good with some glossy accents. So sometimes I'll add accents to the cut aparts, the fussy cut elements, as I'm cutting them out. And then later when I'm ready to add them to the project, it's already done. Here I'm just adding small dots of the hot glue onto the very, very edges of the chipboard. And then sprinkling some glitter over top of the hot glue dots. It's not something you really notice that much, but when it catches the light just right, it makes a very, very nice touch. My advice is to practice that technique a few times before you try it on the chipboard. Although you can't really mess it up, because if you don't like the way it looks, you can just wipe it off quickly while it's still hot. Those tags look excellent. They just need a finishing touch. So I got the chipboard die cuts that coordinate with the Wedding Dream paper collection. And I think I just need a finishing touch on each one. That looks really good on that one. I have a really hard time deciding sometimes. At first I thought I would have this one with the hole in the middle, like an outside frame along the top, and I thought maybe I'll put some flowers coming out of it or some leaves coming out of it. But there were already so many flowers and leaves, I didn't want to overwhelm the project. And then I thought maybe I'd tie a ribbon at the top, but I don't know, I think for this project I just liked the simple tab. That little tab that says you and me. So I ended up just going with just the tab, and I was glad I did because that looks really good. And the chipboard die cuts you can adhere with just simple glue. That looks great. Really, really nice. Excellent. Yeah, those are really nice. Nice 2 little tags, almost like ATC cards, because they're so small, little mini works of art. Here's a final look at the project, and you can see that I added 2 more little chipboard outline hearts to the one tag, and a few Nuvo dots to the other. Thanks so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next video.